Hello, folks. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle. As always, I am Kyle.
And I'm James.
As we go a little something like this.
It's all about the good, bad, love, hate.
How are you doing, James?
I'm doing fabulous this Saturday morning. How are you, Kyle?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little excited right now. We have a guest. I have a computer sitting next to me. There's a lot of things going on in my life right now. Let's introduce our guest, and we'll get right into catching up and whatnot. We have George Dunne from the Second Shot podcast. How are you, good sir?
Wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
I really like
indeed.
the art of your podcast. And
Thank you. That's Sam Holmes.
Ooh,
cool.
I
Look
like
for that guy. Yeah.
Yeah, she.
Oh,
It's
plug for that
2017.
lady.
Don't assume her
Yeah,
gender.
don't.
Fair enough.
A lot of things have gone on this past week. A lot of movies and stuff have come out. George, you were just before we started, we were talking about the Death Note remake that's on Netflix, starring Willem Dafoe and another guy that I don't know.
Pretty much everybody else you don't know.
Okay. Is
I
it
wanna
a
say
good thing?
Gary Sinise? That's not him. That's not Gary
Gary
Sinise.
Sinise.
One of the guys who plays.
Does he play the
Light?
Notebook? He plays.
He plays Gary Sinise.
God,
plays
that'd be
another-
fucking awesome.
I am the Death Note.
It's a totally different show.
just different tone entirely.
Closer to the Page Master.
Because I don't know pretty much anything about Death Note, can you explain Death Note to me?
Honestly, I've never watched the anime or read
Okay.
the manga or anything like that. I only
Gotcha.
watched it because I like Adam Wingard a lot, the director.
Okay.
'Cause
What
I-
else has he done?
You're Next, The Guest, and the Blair Witch sequel. The Blair Witch sequel
man.
was a bummer.
I really liked Your Next.
Yeah, and The Guest is like one of my favorite movies to show people who've never seen
Is
it.
that one where they're in the Hollywood Hills or whatever?
No, it's in Texas, I believe, with
Okay.
Minka Monroe from It Follows and what's
I
his
don't think
name?
I've seen
Fuck,
that
what's his
one
name?
yet. I'll have to write
Dan
that
Stevens from
down. You said The Guest?
yeah, it's
Hell
awesome.
yeah. I'll
It
check
used
that
to be
out.
on Netflix. It's not anymore. But,
Okay. I'll find a way to get it for some reason.
It's it's pretty well known for like it was the first movie I'd ever heard survive. The guys who do two of the guys from Survive did the music for Stranger Things.
Okay.
So there's a lot of music like that in the movie. And
Hell yeah.
In the Death Note movie you're talking about?
well, there is a
I
lot of
guess,
movies like
yeah.
that. He's got a very specific. He likes the Carpenter synthy kind of
Gotcha.
thing. But Survive is a lot like that.
So James, have you read the anime?
I watched it.
Okay.
It was pretty good. It's about a stuck-up rich kid who's just really bored with getting good grades and being good-looking.
Yeah.
That finds
Darn.
that finds a notebook on the ground, and he finds out that if anyone, or he writes a name in it, that person dies, and he can actually make it specific, choose time of death, and he just kind of messes around with that and starts to use it to just kill criminals. So he kind of
Okay.
makes it like.
So it's like a good thing he has.
Well, but
the
it kind of
thing.
not. I mean, it
goes
gets,
into the morals
it's pretty
of it.
dark.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So there's a first arc where he's going against the main detective named L. I don't know what they did in the movie, and that was pretty enjoyable. But then when that ended, it kind of staggered
I
the
think-
finish.
From the movie, there's nothing after the L story.
Okay.
It maybe sets up a sequel. It just kind of ends. So I don't really know.
I'm sure it's gonna make money. Well, I mean, it's Netflix, so I'm sure they're just gonna pump out another one just for the fuck of it.
Maybe.
So.
Honestly, I don't see why they didn't just make it like a mini series or something like Sherlock or something. Just make
Maybe they're testing the
hour and a
waters
half.
on it and seeing what.
I don't.
So did you like it? Did you think it was good?
Yes and no.
That's
having
a
not
wishy-washy
seen-
answer. Yeah.
Having not seen or experienced the source material, I'm kind of like.
I feel like
I
that
don't, like-
it shouldn't matter. I feel like if they made a good product, you don't
Yeah.
have to have another point of reference.
So I mean,
Yeah.
I have nothing to compare it to. I think that's why I kind of liked it a little bit. Like the Adam Wingardiness of it, I liked.
Okay. You're selling me on that alone.
Yeah,
So I'm
it's
probably
very-
gonna have to watch it now.
A lot of synth, a lot of crazy neon colors.
Okay.
And I think it is crazy they got Willem Dafoe to play the
He's great.
demon guy. That's
Oh,
name I
and
can't
he's really
remember
good
right
in it. I mean, he's
he's,
Willem Dafoe.
He's the best part of the movie.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think.
Okay.
He's not in as much as I thought he would be in it, but
Gotcha.
yeah, it feels rushed. But once you kind of get with the pacing of the movie, it kind of becomes a little fun.
Yeah.
The middle chunk of the movie is pretty fun.
Okay.
It's the beginning and the end that are just rough.
Okay.
Like the end is kind of just bad.
Okay.
But
I'll check out. That's on. You said it's on Netflix. Just came out yesterday, right?
yeah.
Oh hell yeah. Did you guys see the fact that the writer of Half-Life just put out what he would envision Episode 3 to be?
Yep.
Do you play Half-Life at all?
No.
Okay, so this is like video games.
This is a video game
White
corner
Whale
for,
is
yeah.
Half-Life 3.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So a nice little...
Oh, right. I've played the...
Well, yeah.
That's the one with the shit that goes over the people's face and they're
Yeah, they have
screaming.
those.
Yeah,
they
yeah,
do
yeah.
kind of look like face huggers, but they're like more bulbous.
They're
Yeah,
head
yeah.
the head
crabs.
crabs.
Those in like the orange box or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was Half-Life 1, which was a pretty good shooter, and Half-Life 2, which added like a huge amount of like narrative to it, and also
Yeah.
maintained to be like one of the best first-person single-player
Probably
shooters
one
ever.
of my favorite games.
Yeah, and then they're like, hey, what we're gonna do is we're gonna be episodic about it. So we're gonna make Half-Life 2 Episode 1, and then Half-Life 2 Episode 2, which ended on a gigantic cliffhanger. And that's the last we've seen of it.
And that was when the Orange Box came out in what, 2007?
I don't know. I'm
not
not
2007,
no.
just 2007.
It's probably been about 10 years or coming up on 10
Yeah.
years since we
Yeah,
last
I was
heard
like
of that.
21 when I played that. So
Yeah, so that's probably one of my favorite games of all time, and they've always, like, the biggest joke is, when is it coming out? It's never coming out, whatever. The writer of Half-Life quit Valve last year, and then yesterday he put out a long post about as Gordon Freeman, which is weird because he's a silent protagonist in
Yeah.
the game. He made a huge letter saying what happened in Episode 3, technically. And it was... did you read it?
I started to, and then I stopped myself just in
It
case.
is
but-
long.
yeah.
But it's great. And I am really hoping that like fans do the fan thing where they'll use it
Yeah.
as a guide, because I'd play
They'll
the shit
use
out of
that
game.
script, and then they'll go in and do like the proper noun find replace thing where
Yeah.
I'm like Morden Geeman. Like,
Yeah. So I saw that yesterday, and then H3H3 won their lawsuit, which is cool.
yeah, so that's a big deal. If
With
you
fair
don't
use
know,
and whatnot.
H3H3 is like a critical channel on YouTube. They released this video making fun of a pretty cringy video by another YouTuber, and he sued them for several things. One was copyright infringement, one was defamation. But this is a very big deal for fair use because the wording in the lawsuit is like, this is a quintessential example of a good use of fair use. This is how like critical stuff should be made.
Yeah.
And so it's going to be a good, like, what do they call it, precedent going forward that will really stop a lot of like suing
It's like a
over.
Steam thing, like a streaming of playing. Or what is this? I don't
No,
know.
it's
No.
like they take a video, like it's like a reaction video basically.
Okay.
But they have a little more finesse to it, where there's not just someone watching it while you're watching them watch it. It's like they break it down.
They really are
kind of-
critiquing it.
Yeah,
so,
they're critiquing the video more so. And I feel like that changes how YouTube is going to be for a little while now, because now people can sue just for reaction videos.
Or like even like I think more is like critical. Like, so I know there was a huge thing, that guy that made that horrible movie Cool Cat Saves the Kids or something.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so a lot of people found his like trashy movie he made. He basically bought like a giant cat costume and made this movie, and a lot of people on YouTube started harping on it because it was a really bad movie, but they were like having actual critiques of it. They didn't just re-upload the movie, and he started like suing them. But this will kind of prove that it's like, if I use your footage, but I'm doing something else with it, like it's actually transformative, like either a parody or a review, you can't sue me for saying it's your thing. Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
I still think my video still can't be uploaded, but what are you gonna do? It's fine. It's dead. It's
You're gonna
dead to
be
my
bitter
life.
about that.
No, I'm not, because someone else. It's already up on YouTube. Someone else. I don't really give a shit anymore. But I just find it to be interesting as how I'm curious as to how YouTube's maybe go back to better content and not just kids screaming into a microphone for a while, because YouTube does make good stuff when they can. When YouTube creators once in a while make things that are kind of fun.
I'll start reviewing your food reviews.
Oh God, please,
I'll start
please,
critiquing them.
I'd appreciate it.
Like, I think there needs to be more neon colors and synth music in this.
I would appreciate all edits into synth music.
And I'll
in
review the
my life.
reviews, and
Yeah.
Kyle will review the reviews,
Exactly.
and it'll be
I'll
like a
just nod
snake
the whole
eating
time.
itself.
Like, I get it. I totally
and we could say
understand why.
everyone will call this circle jerk and we'll be like, no, it's art.
No, this is art. It's subjective. Fuck you. We're being creative. I opened for Psycho Stick on Thursday at the Agora. By the way,
Oh,
that
How's
was fun.
cool.
I'm not super big fan of the Agora because it's dark and I don't. People like to mosh, and I bruise like a banana, and also get pushed into things like that. But I stayed back and
Is it
whatnot.
the ballroom or the main room?
Ballroom,
Okay.
which I feel like has better sound.
I like the ballroom a lot more.
I feel like it's more personal, and I feel like the sound is way better. I've played both, and I really like the ballroom a little better. I only had to do a 20-minute set, which was good and bad. One, because I got out of the way, but two, I like to talk and shit like that. So during the middle of my sets, towards the end of the songs, when my chorus is just going, I'm just like drinking water and like moving as quickly as possible, because I also didn't know I was getting a 20-minute set. I thought I was getting like a 30, 35, and they changed things on me last minute, but it was still fun. Psychostick is a band, a metal comedy band.
I don't know, man.
That's about
I've
it.
never
About
heard,
it.
I heard the name before, but I've never.
Yeah, they have a couple things on YouTube and stuff like that. Check them out. I guess that's fine, or check me out, whatever.
I'm checking you out right now.
Hey, I appreciate it. George, you have some problems you'd like to discuss today on the
I have
podcast.
plenty of problems.
That's fine. Well, let's narrow it down, because you told me before when you walked in you had 2 problems, and I want to cover both of them, because I feel like one we can get into and one we can just kind of,
brush aside like all my other problems.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is like quick therapy session, not a full therapy session. So what do you got? What do you got for us?
Well, the first one is I just this morning actually finished all of Iron Fist simply for the fact that I wanted to watch The Defenders, and now I don't want to watch The Defenders.
So sorry for your loss.
It was a loss of 13 hours of my life.
It's 13 episodes?
I think 12 or 13, yeah.
Oh, man.
It's rough. It is
No.
real bad.
Why? Why does it need to be 13 episodes?
There wasn't enough to fill up 2 episodes. I don't know. Like, it just kept going
I
on.
heard that a lot of the fight scenes they started trying to choreograph like an hour before they really shot, so they're just
shows.
very bad.
Like there
yeah.
are times people throw punches and the is just off.
Yeah.
So like you like he'll go ugh, and then he'll swing and it's like what is happening?
Or like there'll be like 2 different swings and it's like 20 different cuts and different angles, because they're trying to hide the fact that they can't fight and the lack of choreography. It's like,
Well, I think the producer of Iron Fist also did Luke Cage. And
Did he?
I feel like it's Kareem something. I can't
Okay.
remember his name. I feel like he was producing both of them at the same time.
okay.
And I think
he
that's
was
why
like,
they both
clearly I like
suffered.
Luke Cage better.
But even then,
and-
Luke Cage kind of sucked. Like,
Did it? Okay.
I mean, like it had its moments and it had great music, but like that's really about it.
What else has he done besides Luke Cage and Iron Fist? I've
I
never
have
heard of
no
him.
idea.
Okay.
I honestly have no idea.
Gross.
Man, I'm definitely experiencing from fatigue from all these superhero shows on Netflix or whatever.
Marvel doesn't know what they're doing with TV. Like they got Jessica Jones
Yeah.
and some of Daredevil.
Yeah.
Is
But, like,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. any good?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
didn't
people
think
say
so.
it gets better in season 2, but I mean,
That's
you
not
really
a,
have
that's
to
not
plow
a
through
selling
23
point.
episodes.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Are those I'm assuming they're hour episodes too, because they're
Yeah.
CW programming.
Yeah.
So fucking gross.
DC's killing it though. The Flash
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Arrow's okay at times.
I dropped out of Arrow a couple seasons ago. I enjoyed it, and then I hear Flash is great. So
Yeah, Legends of Tomorrow is surprisingly fun too. The second
Okay.
season is. The first one's okay.
yeah,
Like it's watchable, but
I
the second
gotcha.
season's a lot of fun.
I got you.
Like Doctor Who with superheroes.
And you're totally out of the superhero game now entirely.
I feel like I watched one recently. Oh yeah, but it was The Winter Soldier, so that's old. But I saw that recently.
Yeah,
Did
that's
you
about
come
3
across
years
that
old.
for the first time?
Yeah, I never really watched it when it
Okay,
came out. and
I
stuff.
like it. I thought it was fun. It wasn't bad.
There's
It
been
was
an
like
entirely other Captain America movie since.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I
You're
liked.
a little behind.
I
but
liked
it's
that
fine.
movie. I thought that movie was good.
It was cool.
Winter
It was like
Soldier is
a
probably my favorite one.
It was
Yeah.
probably, it's more of like a spy movie, and I think
I
think
liked
Marvel
that.
movies are a really good idea with like tone of like this is gonna be a certain kind of film, even though it's a superhero movie, and I feel like they really nail it.
Yeah.
I feel like DC should be listening to such things.
No, they're just gonna make 2 Joker movies at the same time.
But,
Exactly.
The,
Isn't
the superhero thing, I like it. You know, Captain America was spy, and there's some reality to it, but it still feels like whimsical. Like, hey, man, I'm throwing a shield, and it's bouncing back,
Yeah.
and I'm getting
Yeah.
shot at, never getting hit, and it's fine, because it's supposed to be like a fun romp like that.
exactly
DC had those successful Christopher Nolan Batmans where they were dark and gritty and more real, and they're just trying to make that strike again, but you can't, I don't know. It's a superhero movie. Have fun.
Isn't
Like,
I was reading reports the other day that Martin Scorsese is supposed to be doing a
He's
Joker
producing
movie.
the Joker origin movie.
Is that gonna be animated or?
I think it's live action. It's not going to have Jared Leto, from what I hear.
Thank
I'm just
God.
honestly so tired of hearing about the Joker.
I don't care.
That I
He's
just,
not
like-
interesting anymore. He's
Yeah.
never super interesting as a character.
Actually, I think Batman's not interesting, and the Joker's the only thing that really made him interesting. But there just have been so many
I
bad
could see that.
Jokers, like
Batman,
Mark Hamill.
the best part of Batman is his villains.
Yeah,
Like he has the
Batman's
best rogues gallery of any superhero.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I saw a little bit of Lego Batman last night. And
It's so good.
Never seen Lego Batman.
I haven't either. I've heard it's very good.
Oh, Ash and I went over to a friend's house last night, and she put it on as background, and I was paying more attention to the movie than the conversation. I'm like, this is fucking funny.
Like the opening is we have a plane full of dynamite, 500 bombs, and 2 best friends.
And 2 best friends. It is. They should just keep making just the Lego versions of them because those ones tend to go over well.
Ninjago comes out next month. I'm super excited.
I saw the trailer for that and I was sold. I'm like, whatever you guys want to do. And
Lego movies are great.
And then whenever the new Lego movie comes out, because I know that Rob Schraub is writing
Rob Schraub's directing it. Yeah.
And is he directing? Who's writing it?
I think he co-wrote it.
Okay, cool. I'm totally in. That's fine. Whatever he
Phil
wants.
Lord and Chris Miller did the first one, and they're probably my favorite comedy directing team right now.
Yeah, they're just nailing it, and I think they should just make all Lego movies. I'd even if they were like Suicide Squad 2 in Lego, I'd been like, all right, maybe I'll pay for an early show. I don't fucking know. So, what was your second problem? Because that was our one we just kind of threw out there. You got a serious problem on your hands.
Yeah, this one's a bit more personal.
Okay, tell us about it into the microphone.
Well,
with your voice.
Is that how a microphone works?
No.
I've been signing at this thing every podcast.
I know. It's been real weird. I've been doing liner notes because of it. So
if you listen to my podcast, it's usually just up my butt, and it's mostly just an hour and a half of us farting.
That's fine. Hey, that works for me.
You were on the podcast with Chili, so
that's right. Yeah,
definitely.
That was more. Mine was more of an after effect than anything. I came home and went, that was bad choice on my part. So,
well, my problem is I don't have a chin. Both physically and metaphorically.
Okay. Which path do you want to go down first? Which one hurts more?
I'll let the therapist decide.
We are no therapists, but we can try our best. Emotional chin wise, how do you feel like you don't have an emotional chin?
Well, I don't know. I'm not a brave man.
How so? You came on a podcast. You put yourself out every week.
Is that having a chin? Is that like a
weak chin? That's kind of what having a weak chin's like you're not brave. You might say something but then cower back. Like think Jerry from Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Have you guys caught up on that?
Nobody gives a fuck what you think, Jerry.
Oh my god, just like the wind loser.
Whirly dirly conspiracy.
Yeah, the whirly dirly.
To the whirly dirly.
Fuck yeah, I knew you were cool.
When did you get cool?
Yeah.
Okay, so why do you feel like you back off of a lot of situations?
Yeah, I don't like confrontation.
Okay.
But I like creating confrontation.
So you like creating the chaos and then watching the chaos happen.
Yeah,
or like the fuse and back. There we go. It's always at the end of the day. You are now the Joker of this podcast, and I do appreciate it. But I don't know. I guess you can just really make yourself stay in. How about you throw more punches? More physical violence is always how to get that chin.
They can't see me on the podcast, but you can see me.
You're yoked.
I'm not
You're
gonna be able
swole.
to fight anybody.
You're straight up swolger. You are just like...
You'll see me down in the flats every weekend, just pounding brews and pounding puss.
That's right. Down at that Margaritaville, just being knee deep.
I literally
in
went down there last weekend.
Is this what chins do?
Time.
Yeah.
It's really.
Wait, you
have
went down
a prominent chin.
I have a very huge chin. I try to hide it with a beard, but it doesn't really work.
I have
it just
okay chin.
sticks
It's
out.
not bad. Hold on. You went to Margaritaville last week?
I didn't go to the intent. I went on a date, and I was like, the intent was to go to Margaritaville, kind of as like a joke.
Not look really, at all these old fucks. Yeah.
Kind of. I mean, yeah, but we went to the place across the street from it called Big Bang, I think. It's a
that's
piano
like
bar.
piano bar.
Piano bar.
I keep wanting to call it Bang This because everyone's wearing a shirt that said Bang This. And I spent $20 on 2 beers, and they gave me a glass that said Bang This. I'm like,
and you're like, I'm gonna throw this on the ground. No, please, I'm not gonna bang this cup. No, fuck you. You can't tell me what to do.
But we went down there. I was outside having a smoke, and I didn't even realize before the date I was wearing a shirt that said, "When I grow up, I want to fuck like a girl," because it's an album.
What the fuck does that shirt even mean?
I don't know. I love it, but I want to know more.
It doesn't really mean anything, but
you said it's based off an album?
Yeah, it's an album by a band, All Leather.
Okay.
But there was a guy and like a group of his friends and like his girlfriend probably, and he was like, "Hey, can I have your shirt?" And like I was,
Can I have
Can
it?
you, can
And
you
he's
just
just-
give me your shirt?
and it's like 7:00. The sun's still up, and he's fucking hammered.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing with your life,
Was
dude?
this on a Friday or a Saturday?
Friday.
Hell yeah. This guy fucks so hard. Oh my
Must
god.
have a chin.
It must be he must have an emotional chin.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was a
think I've
real
ever
strong
asked
chin.
someone for a shirt before.
Yeah, I can't.
He's like, can we trade shirts? And I'm
Who
like,
does that?
I'm like having a decent conversation with the girl I'm on a date with. And
was weird,
I'm just
though.
like getting tired of it. I'm like, you know what? No.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to fit you. You're too swole. Like, and it just gets into this whole thing. And his girlfriend joins in and he's like, goes to the girl.
So
He's
they're
like, does he
heckling
fuck like
you?
a girl? She's like, I don't know. We haven't had sex. Like, it's like, this is our first date. We literally just started this date. Like,
Yeah, this is going pretty well so far.
and she's like, you need to fuck him with a strap on and fuck him like a girl. I'm like, what is fucking going on here? Like,
I mean, that shirt is kind of inviting that.
that
but-
you're
I'm fine with
inviting
it
a little
general.
bit of
Yeah.
discourse, but asking someone for a shirt, I don't think I've ever asked.
I was
someone
just
for
hoping
it.
his shirt says, "When I grow up, I want a shirt that says, when I grow up, I want to fuck like a girl." And he just sees you and is like, "Oh my god, this is
He's
the
like,
moment."
this is finally what I've wanted my whole entire life.
like
It
Macaulay
makes sense.
Culkin wearing a shirt of Macaulay Culkin wearing a shirt of Macaulay Culkin.
Exactly. It's so deep in its own regard.
Recursive.
Yeah, I feel like he yelled at you a bunch about it, and then when he walked away, he had that on the back of his shirt. It was fucking solid.
He had a polo too. I didn't want a fucking polo.
Oh no, you can't do that.
Honestly, his shirt was probably more
polos.
expensive. But
It might have been, but still, I don't think I've had someone ask to buy a hoodie I had one time. It was an Umbrella Corporation hoodie, and this guy.
You can just go to Hot Topic.
I know, and that's where I got it from because I was in my teens and made bad fashion choices. And we were like about to go in this haunted house, and the host of the haunted house was like telling us the rules, like don't touch anyone, they won't touch you. And then he like stops and looks at me, and he breaks character and goes, "Can I buy that hoodie off you?" And I thought he was doing a bit, and I'm like, "You're hilarious.
Can
This
you
is
buy
so-"
my hoodie off me? Who?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what's the joke here?
Yes,
I want to play.
and.
Yeah, exactly. I need a suggestion of a room, and he's like, no, I really like want to buy that hoodie off you. And I'm like, why? And he like started pulling out money. I'm like, it's cold. No, like
I went to
fuck
a haunted
you.
house last year, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
like, it was in a strip mall, which is always a good sign.
Yeah,
And-
because it's probably abandoned as his own.
It was
right.
pretty much an abandoned.
It's just
strip
full of
mall.
old mall walkers.
Yeah.
So and me now. I'm a mall walker now.
With
so.
the dapper fanny pack.
That's right. I'll have to post that picture.
But one of the guys was like, one of them kept following me and my girlfriend at the time around and just like being like, hey, making weird, like kind of like trying to be in character creepy.
Yeah.
But it was being in real life creepy at a
Okay.
point. And then he kind of started making like weird sexual things to me
Okay.
as like kind of a joke. And I just kind of leaned into it. I'm like, yeah, sure. Here's my number. I gave him my number and everything. And he started laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you're real good at this. You're breaking character. You're fucking. And he's like, yeah, like, I might give you a call sometime. We could be friends. You seem pretty cool. I'm like, all right.
We are not going to
You
be
are
friends.
in the worst part of the Halloween thing where it's like the hillbilly, the crazy hillbillies. I'm like, oh, this is the
Yeah.
worst part. You're
Yeah.
second worst to clowns.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're just fucking lame.
Did he have like a chainsaw that didn't have a blade on it?
There was a guy with a chainsaw, but it wasn't him. He had like a, what did he have? Like a hammer or something? I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was real.
Carpentry.
real.
Gonna
Build
get
me
a
a
splinter,
shed.
you fucker. Jesus. But back to your physical chin, though. I feel like you have a chin. I can't see it behind the microphone right now.
my
There it
overbite.
is. Look at that. Look at that. You got a chin.
It exists.
It
Yes, I
exists.
have a jaw,
Yes.
but it's not physically like it's pretty. It's not flat.
Okay.
You know, like,
but it needs a little more oomph to it.
yeah, I got that overbite like the Simpsons.
Can you maybe get like an enhancement or
I would
don't know,
love like if Jay Leno had like a fundraiser.
there you go.
Like chins for
Chins across America.
chins across.
I mean, either that or you
Chin
can be
chimney.
the superhero
Have you ever
Crimson Chin.
seen the kids'
Oh, yeah.
cartoon, The Fairly Odd Parents?
Yeah,
Boom.
that's what.
That's the Crimson
Yeah.
Voiced
Chin.
by Jay
Yeah,
Leno.
I couldn't remember.
That's voiced by Jay Leno.
Yeah.
Fuck, I had no idea. That's
awesome.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Who was what was it? Cleft, the boy Chin Wonder.
Yeah.
You could be Clef. I think you just really have to embrace it. I think you just have to stand loud and proud and with your chest out, and then tell someone you're gonna fuck them like a girl, and then don't even ask to trade shirts. Just take their shirt. Therefore,
That's assault.
It might be. I think that's
But something someone with a big chin would do.
That's right. That is correct.
Cocky as fuck.
God damn. I just can't get over the guy who like asked to trade shirts.
It was weird. It was literally like a half hour into our date. Like after spending 10 minutes trying to find parking.
I mean, to be fair, I just beat him in a soccer game, but
yeah. Nailed it. Fucking nailed it. I feel like the flats are like such a I guess how did the date go overall? I feel like you guys had something to talk about afterwards. Like this fucking guy. Like
overall, it went well. Like we ended up at a gay bar and had fun.
Did you go bounce or
cocktails?
Cocktails. Where's that
it's,
one at?
West 90th in Detroit.
Okay.
It's kind of hidden, but it's awesome. There's like a sex dungeon in the basement. Like
hell yeah, why not?
But it's like a regular bar upstairs.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun.
It's like a good homely bar, and then in the basement, it's all
it's
with
awesome.
Chains and fucking leather, my
friend.
friend.
Get buzzed in.
Hell yeah! Is there like a code word?
No, it's just you don't look like a crackhead.
Well, that's a pretty good. I feel like that's enough of a password to not look like you're a serial killer, or you're gonna steal everything. James, do you have a problem?
I do.
Okay.
It's the current season of Game of Thrones.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we gonna talk spoilers or not?
Yeah, there'll be some spoilers in here.
Okay, I will do an edit at this point, so you can do what you gotta do. Do you watch Game of Thrones?
I've never seen an episode.
Perfect. This is gonna go over really
great
well.
Great guest to pick this on.
But you'll understand because I know that you're a big movie fan. You understand writing and pacing. So.
Hello, folks. Kyle here from the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle. You know, the podcast you are currently listening to. Just to let you know, we discussed some Game of Thrones spoilers, so if you're not caught up to the newest episode, I highly recommend that you do not listen to, I would say, 26 minutes in to about 37 minutes in. Just to let you know. And thanks. Have a good one. Enjoy the episode.
So I am a huge Game of Thrones fan.
Yes.
I watched the first season. That's what got me into it. And then
that's usually how most people.
But in the
television.
time intervening, I became very obnoxious and in between seasons 1 and 2, read all the books.
Yeah. Damn.
And then
damn son,
I've read them a second time because I'm super into it. So the show has done a pretty good job of representing it. Like the first season's like the first book, pretty much as well as you do it. And then the show's had a varying level of quality, but overall been pretty good.
Yeah.
So they're trying to wrap things up, and it just feels incredibly rushed.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's necessarily the problem. It's just they're also being incredibly lazy with their storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing I've always appreciated about Game of Thrones is that even though it was a world with like magic and dragons, it felt very real because if you go do something stupid, you end up dead.
Yeah, and everyone fucks their sister. So I mean, it's just
some
like real life.
people do.
It just depends on the state we're in. That's all.
I mean, that's what real royal lines were. You had to keep the blood pure, and by pure
Exactly.
they meant like inbred. So
That's right.
Like the McBoyles.
Like the McBoyles.
like the McBoyles or purebred dogs. So we see all of those. Yeah. So it's just okay. Like there was this kid. He was doing great at war, but he made an alliance and he backed out on it because he fell in love with a hot piece of ass and ended up marrying her, and her family didn't really have any men to contribute, and that got him killed and like lost the whole thing. It's just you do this stuff and it has like real life consequences.
Mm-hmm.
So in the show this current season, I guess if we said we'd do spoilers, like one of the characters goes north of this giant ice wall to capture a zombie that's being led by a gigantic army of like ice zombies. And it goes
to prove that there's another problem besides infighting in the world. Basically.
Out of context, this sounds like the greatest show ever.
Yeah, it's got a lot of good stuff there.
Yeah,
but it's like everything about it was not thought out at all, and it's just, and he got Deus Ex Machina out of it twice. He goes north of the wall, and then like all this shit happens. They get surrounded on this rock,
which is also a death sentence, by the way.
Yeah,
going north of the wall means like you're basically banned, and you're going to die within like a day or two. So like this is normally
people
bigger
lived
deal.
up there.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
they normally when someone gets that doesn't live up there goes out there, it's like you're fucked. Like you'll die in some other capacity. So, but continue. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make context here.
So I saw the most pretentious video explaining how you're an idiot for looking into this at all. But in the books, I won't necessarily carry this over to the show. The mountain they get to that looks like an arrowhead where this stuff happens is about a 10 days trek from the wall.
Yeah.
So shit starts to go south. They grab one of the characters and tell him to run back and let Daenerys, who has dragons, know that something's going on. So he runs back, gets to the wall, they ride a raven, which is how they communicate. Birds fly from castle to castle.
Yeah, they don't have cell phones in this
Yeah,
show.
so a raven
I
flies
know,
from
right?
there
Fuck the
to where the dragons are, and then the lady gets on her dragons and flies up there and then up north of the wall and rescues them. So, like, I get it that you want to have all these pieces together, but that's just an incredibly lazy, not thought out way of doing it at all.
Yeah, this is
It's
a
very
pacing
dumb,
issue with
and
this
everyone
episode.
should die. They should all be dead. If
Yeah.
Daenerys, by the time Daenerys gets there, she should find just corpses that
Yeah.
are reanimated now and working with the dead army.
Exactly.
So, on top of that, like, the dragons show up and they save everyone except the main guy in this scene. And then he gets out, and then his dead uncle comes back as a zombie and saves him at the last minute, and then really dies for no reason. There's 2 fucking Deus Ex Machinas in
Yeah.
the same scene.
I think I saw that video. Like they're all standing on a hill or something or a rock.
Yeah,
And then a
they
giant
were.
dragon comes and like
yeah.
yeah, there was someone put like that scene to Celine Dion or something like that.
Yeah, I did see that. Yeah, Celine, everything.
That's fucking great. And I
Yeah.
feel like that scene would have been like really powerful and really, but this episode didn't have a sense of time to it. And they covered it up by having 2 other characters that weren't in the scene make a mention that they haven't seen them in weeks. It was an off comment saying, I haven't seen Jon Snow in 3 weeks. They're like, cool. That's our way of trying to go around shitty story writing and having to cut this season by like 5 or 6 episodes normally?
Yeah, I don't know.
Isn't this like a half season? They're doing what
Well, there's
Breaking Bad
normally
did?
10, so you have 7, and then I
This
think
one's
6
8,
more,
though, isn't it?
Or maybe I think it was
it's 8.
7 and
Tonight's
6.
or
but-
tomorrow's or whatever
Is
Sunday is like the season finale. Though,
Yeah,
right?
it is.
Yeah. It's such a pacing issue, and like everyone has fast
I mean,
travel
I'll
all of
even
a sudden,
forgive
like
the
they're a Fallout
pacing.
character.
You can do the fast travel, make it feel more like time has happened, or even if you don't, I get it. You're trying to wrap it up. It's that it's bad storytelling now. It's not
Exactly.
like getting these pieces together we want to see them together, and it's being done in a very stupid way.
Exactly.
I think there's also this other problem that like fans don't really understand all the time why they like things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you get a lot of characters together that'd be sweet to see together, and it's just not paying off. And I think it's kind of like the best parallel is the lightsaber from Star Wars. Like everyone loved it in the original trilogy, but then all of a sudden it has no context in the prequels. It just
Everybody has one. and
Yeah.
they're just flying around
There's
everywhere.
no gravitas to it. There's no really meat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like their goal now is to have everyone like hang on until the end of the series now. Like they just want everyone to like what's going on.
Is the general consensus that the season hasn't been very good?
I've heard mixed, and for the most part, it's generally positive buzz about
Some
the
of
show.
it's. This is probably the first episode out of the season that I didn't super care for. The season's been pretty.
And which is weird because it had a lot of the show's money shots in it. You see dragons fighting the main bad guy who's called the Ice King for the first time ever, and one of these dragons actually dies and then gets reanimated as an ice dragon, which should be
which is
amazing.
gonna be a huge thing in
But
the
it-
new season.
It just felt like, well, we want this now, so we're just putting it in. Like it did. Like everything fit together so well previously. It was all like
And they
clicked
just
in.
This is the
kinda
first season without a book, right?
Last one I think was as well.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's starting to. But also, like, I don't think George R. R. Martin has any point of being in with the show anymore because every season he would write one episode. Like that was kind of their deal, and I think last season he stopped doing that
Because he wants to get his books finished.
Yeah, or he just wants to sleep more. I don't know what he's doing. That book's never gonna come out. He's
working on
die.
exercising.
Exactly. He's working on hanging out. But I just feel like it's a super, like, they just want to get it done. They're already working on their next project that's already had that huge backlash of what if the Confederacy won the Civil War? Like, that's their new project.
They already made that. It's called fucking what's that Amazon show? The Man in the High Castle.
Yes.
It's like fucking why
Exactly.
do you need that? I
Well,
want the
it's-
Confederacy version of that.
And have you seen that? Because that's,
The first season's great.
is it?
I love
oh,
it.
man. I got like
Second,
3
I got halfway
episodes
through the
in.
second season. I just kind of fell off. But
Okay.
It's still pretty good.
I know that the only thing I care about now is that Amazon just put out The Tick.
Yeah, I
And
haven't
I'm
watched it
very
yet.
excited. I saw the first
Is it
episode.
Patrick Warburton again?
No, it's
It's-
Peter Serafinowicz.
I don't know
So
who that is.
he's the roommate in Shaun of the Dead.
He's also the voice of Darth Maul.
Yes.
And he's in Guardians of the Galaxy. Did you see Guardians of the Galaxy?
I saw the first one.
Yeah, he's one of the Nova Corps guys that dies at the end.
Okay.
He's the one who's always like he sounds like a bunch of a-holes or something in the trailer.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
now.
he's the tick. They did Amazon did this thing like last year where they had like 3 or 4 pilots of episodes, and whoever won the most votes they made, and it was obviously the tick.
The Tick and Jean-Claude Van Johnson.
Yeah.
Have you watched Jean-Claude Van Johnson?
No, what is that?
So good.
What is it?
So it's Jean-Claude Van Damme as Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'm already excited.
As kind of a sort of washed up
God, that's
actor.
too meta for me. Like,
But then he decides to go back into acting, and then it turns out that his acting was a cover for the fact that he's a spy.
Yes.
And that
please.
he starts filming these shitty movies in other countries so he can like
spy on
spy
them.
in other countries.
Oh
and,
my God.
And like he is literally Jean-Claude Van Damme in real life. It's so meta. It's fucking hilarious.
I
and great.
can't. Now you kind of sold me on that.
Watch the pilot. It's
Okay.
so good.
I will watch it. I definitely recommend the tick. What's his full name again? I'm sorry. The
Peter
guy.
Saravinowicz.
Yeah, Peter
I
does
love
a.
the original one. Patrick Warburton was amazing.
He did
The
great.
cartoon was great too.
This guy does awesome work. It's over the top. It's just how you think it should work, and like his sidekicks really. His sidekick has more of a dark backstory than
Is it
anything
the same
else.
other people? Is there still like Batmanuel and?
I don't think they've got. There was only the first episode. I haven't watched anything
Yeah,
else
that
yet.
they didn't really throw any of those other people in
It's
yet.
following more of what's his name, the Moth. What's his real name?
Oh God,
Arthur. I
Yeah,
think?
Arthur. Yeah,
It follows him more. Like the Tick just kind of shows up.
and just like fuck shit up,
yeah.
and then goes. So it's kind of like the Squee to Johnny the Homicidal Maniac kind of
Yeah.
deal. That's
Cool.
it.
I don't get that reference.
Yeah, I realized as I was saying, and I'm like, sure, he'll
Johan
get it.
Vasquez. Or,
Yeah, he'll get it, but no one else will get it. That's fine. Man, yeah, this Game of Thrones season, we got one more episode. I'm like so tired of it. I just want to watch Rick and Morty. Like that's all I want. That's my
5
that's
more
like
episodes.
that's all I need in my life right now. I don't need any more Game of Thrones. I'm sick of it, but I need to finish
I've
it.
been listening to the Adventure Zone, and it's filling that fantasy itch very
Is it?
well.
We
It's the McElroy brothers playing D&D, for those of you that don't know, and it's just so
so
good.
good.
I know we talked about it.
We just finished the second episode last night, and it's good. I normally don't like D&D podcasts. I find them to be either too serious or like too ridiculous, but like they have everything they put in is just like has some
Griffin-
kind of heart to it.
Griffin is the DM, and he's put a lot of time into it. Without spoiling any more than this, one of the arcs is fucking Mad Max Fury Road, where they're all on like battle wagons shaped like animals and like
Hell yeah.
boarding each other. It's so good.
Okay, I'm
What's it
excited.
called?
The Adventure Zone.
Adventures. Okay, yeah, I've heard
It's
of that.
McElroy Brothers production kind of thing. So
We still listen to Nerd Poker for a minute, but got a little too much.
it got I listened to the first maybe like 30 episodes of that, and it just got too serious, and I'm like, I'm not having fun. Like
So what was Nerd Poker?
It's Brian Posehn's D&D game. It's a few comics, a few other guys.
but they weren't funny. Like no one was being like super. They were taking it very seriously.
Unless, like, yeah, one of them was like, and then he farts, and it's like, all right, we get it, you're Brian Posehn. Like,
Yeah, like you don't have to do another fart joke, please. I like you a bunch.
I
But
I like
Please.
Harmontown.
Alright.
They do D&D on that.
Harmontown's good. Harmon Quest was great.
I haven't watched the Harmon Quest yet.
I
I
recommend
liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Now that CISO's gone, I got to figure out how to watch it.
VRV has them all, and you don't have to log in. That's
Oh,
how I
nice.
watch. I saw.
I wanted to
Harmon
watch that
Quest
in Hidden America,
last
so I've
week.
been-
so,
Yeah. And then actually, the McElroy brothers have their Mabim Bam show, My Brother, Me,
it
on
so
on
much.
VRV as well. I highly
Okay.
recommend it.
My brother watches My Brother and Me. That's a weird sentence.
It is.
Um,
It's fun to
so
say though. We
good.
just say
I love
Mabim
that
Bam
show.
because it's
Mabim
easier,
Bam.
so I don't fucking throw out my words like that.
Hello, folks. Kyle again from the Plucking Petals podcast with James and Kyle. You know, the podcast you are currently listening to right now. Just to let you know, this is the end of the spoiler part of the episode. So feel free to listen to the whole entire rest of the episode spoiler free. Thank you. Have a good day.
Folks, we are now going to move on to our lovely WikiHow segment. The WikiHow I have chosen for this week was how to act possessed. So we're going to go through the community Q&A section of this WikiHow, and we're going to answer some questions. That sound good?
Sound good.
Cool. All right, first question. Are there any tips on how to act possessed by an evil doll? As a person who watches film and stuff
how,
like that,
how
I feel like
to
you
act possessed.
Yeah, this is how to act
I
possessed
think this
by
person
an
has
evil
their
doll.
facts backwards.
Yep.
Isn't it normally that the evil doll is
Yeah,
possessed? By the, yeah.
But like, are they thinking of Chucky? Because like even Chucky's not like that. I
Yeah.
can't think of a doll that possesses someone else.
I mean, there's bad movies. There's this movie. Well, it's a mirror that possesses him.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I
he's
don't
gonna say
think
the
this
evil
is
within.
there's a precedent for this.
I
Like
kinda-
Buzz Lightyear and
Like, I mean, you could act like a doll and just like stand in a corner or something. Like
Yeah,
that.
and just
I
like sit on
I like
stuff.
act like Buzz Lightyear,
Act
and
like
then whenever
Buzz
you
Light-
see anyone, just pretend.
Or
like,
Woody, just like no bones.
I kind of want to write this short film now. How? Okay, so I don't know who this is, so I'm gonna ask it anyways. How can I act possessed by Bill Cipher? Do you know who that is? Because I don't.
Kind of familiar.
And
but
I
it's pretty
forgot to
generic.
look this
I
up
believe
before
that
the
is the
episode.
antagonist from the show that we were talking about 2 podcasts ago, Gravity Falls.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I
He
don't know.
looks
watch
like
that
the
one.
Illuminati pyramid with the
Doesn't it have
top
like a
hat.
top hat?
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird. How would I pull this off if I usually act reclusive?
Well, if you don't act reclusive, people
Just
will
do
think
the
something's
opposite.
different.
Get
Yeah.
in their face and act possessed. I don't.
Well, no, you just get closer and act reclusive.
There you go.
So you sit next to them, or you sit in the corner. You turn off the
and
lights.
act like the doll.
Yeah, you just turn off the lights and you just stand in a doorway.
What do I do if I want to act half possessed?
Half possessed.
Just half possessed.
You start acting possessed and then go, no.
I refuse. It's like some idle hand situation.
That's what I
like-
pictured more like you're talking normally, but like your other hand is like grabbing weapons and like trying to just like
It's like a reverse stroke. Like
Yeah.
half your body's just like instead of
lackadaisically trying to stab you. Like,
Please stop. Stop it.
like
please.
comes up to like strangle yourself. You're like, cut
You're
it
like,
out.
No, I gotta
we're
go.
doing stuff.
I gotta go. Will I convince my parents that I am possessed if I do things I don't ordinarily like? They just think
Like
that
eat
you're
broccoli?
changing. Yeah. Man, Mark is eating his broccoli. This kid's a straight up demon.
fucking Mark.
Fuck this
Normally
kid.
he's lactose intolerant, but he's eating cheese on that
I
broccoli
don't know,
too.
He's dunking it in milk. I don't know what's going on with his
Milk
life.
and
The broccoli was only on the plate to test if you were a demon. You have failed. And she's like,
Get this the sacrifice knife. Let's fucking do this. Should I do that quote unquote creepy voice with deep and low voice or high pitched gigglish voice? Well,
like this.
if you're
I talk like
Makes me
this.
think of the Batman voice.
Exactly.
drugs going?
I feel like if you're gonna be the doll, a gigglish voice would probably be the most ideal. But if you're gonna be more of a demon who crawls on things, I would say probably deep voice.
I feel like gigglish thing is lame. Like
It is.
Like
It's very like old
Yeah,
school.
if you're not a
horror.
7-year-old girl with like pigtails and like a floral
yeah, like if
dress,
Chucky did the gigglish thing,
Yeah.
it'd be like, oh,
What the fuck's wrong with this doll?
just
Doesn't he laugh though? I haven't
He
seen a
does,
Chucky
but he-
movie in forever.
It's like a
he laughs, but
cackle,
he,
yeah.
he laughs
Okay.
like Brad Dourif. So it's just like,
There's supposed to be a new Chucky movie coming out
There
like
is.
next month.
yeah.
It's going straight to VOD, so,
So
that should
well,
tell you.
It's been a while.
But it's the
since...
same guy who's been doing them since the beginning.
Really?
He's done every single one.
Okay.
They're pretty consistent.
Okay, I mean, I like
Curse
why
of
is
Chucky.
Chucky-
Why is Chucky scary? Does he have powers that a doll that
No,
size would not?
there's no reason he's
have?
scary. He's
Like-
scary in like the mind of like he's an inanimate object that is alive.
Yeah, but you're like, oh wow, that freaks me
He
out.
like
but
stabs
like,
people with
yeah,
knives.
but I'd be like,
he's
you're
possessed by a
pretty
serial
bad.
killer. That's
you're
really...
holding a knife. Like, okay, that's scary, but like your arms are so like I shouldn't let you hit me with that.
His whole thing
It's
is
like a
tricking
sneaking-
people into thinking like, oh, he's just a regular doll
Mm-hmm.
because it's a nice guy doll, and like I like if you-
Nice guy doll.
That's literally what it's called.
He's
That's
like
the brand.
he's like a friend zone serial killer. Real quick.
The first Child's Play is awesome. Child's Play 2 is even better.
I like the first couple.
Bride of Chucky's awesome. I haven't seen. I saw Seed of Chucky. It's fun.
I haven't seen that one.
That's
I saw
where they go full
Bride.
comedy.
Okay.
It's okay.
like campy
they
comedy.
Yeah, they have a kid. They have a doll kid together.
Oh,
but
Jesus.
he doesn't want to be a serial killer, and they're also making a movie about. So it's like kind of like Scream 3, but
Okay.
not terrible.
Gotcha.
And then Curse of Chucky's back like straight horror. I haven't seen
Okay.
that one, but
I wonder what this one's gonna be. Then I'm curious now.
Jennifer Tilly's in it, so I'm in.
Is there any way to get my friends to help me with this? Nope.
I don't know. Why don't you ask them?
I don't know. Like, why make that a question?
Why ask the internet for that?
What I read in this article fits me 100%? Does that mean I'm already possessed?
Yes.
Yes, most def. You're done. What if I break a bone in my body while doing some weird stunts?
You'll have to reset it.
Yeah, you'll have to run your arm into a wall or something and put it back in its socket, or go to a doctor.
Go and get medical help. Don't listen to Kyle.
I'm not a doctor. I like the idea of it's like weird stunts. Like, I want to know what a weird stunt is as opposed to a regular stunt. Like, is it a lack of half pipe, or
I feel like it's like
would
everybody.
Tony Hawk do it? Is that
For
a
some
normal
reason,
stunt?
I'm just picturing like him sitting on the edge of a roof, and like this giant Rube Goldberg machine goes to just kick him off.
A weird stunt would be like what everybody thinks when they think of The Exorcist is that spider walk down the stairs.
Yes, and
They're
he
like-
falls and hurts himself. He starts crying.
He doesn't realize they climbed up and then just reversed the shot.
Is it wrong to be a Satanist?
Absolutely not.
No, it's fine. Sometimes
That freedom of filth.
That's right. Is Five Nights at Freddy's an evil game? Just passing that one up
No,
real
it's just
quick.
lame as fuck.
No, I think the first one's fun. I feel like what it spawned into is garbage.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fun little dumb game, and I
My
have
only
them.
context of it is 5-year-olds wearing t-shirts.
See,
of it,
like
so.
that's not good. I feel like the game is fun, and I feel like the game is challenging. It is a strategy game in its own right, and I'm also not good at strategy games,
Yeah,
so
no,
I don't get far in that game at all. I am not that social, so would a personality change be good if I act social but weird? I think it goes back to the weird stunt
I don't know. Why don't you ask
aspect again.
Tim Burton?
Exactly. You can make Big Fish and then come back to Paranorman real quick.
He didn't make Paranorman.
Oh, he didn't he?
He had
Shit.
nothing to do with Paranorman.
What's the
Coraline?
Corpse Bride? That's what it was.
What?
Did you do Coraline?
No, Henry Selick did Coraline. That's
Gotcha.
it. You're thinking Frankenweenie.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
What if I'm not allowed to wear makeup? Well, I mean, you're a demon. There's no rules. Like, if you're possessed, bro, like...
I'm
I
a
don't know
demon,
what to
but my
tell
mom
ya.
won't let me wear makeup yet.
All right.
These are definitely kids, right?
Yeah. So we have this debate almost every episode. I always think they're only like 12 to 13.
Oh,
Jane-
now you're getting less specific because I pointed it out.
Fine. I always say 12-year-olds. I feel like it's funny to say 12 but not 13. James seems to suggest that there might be older people doing this as well, but like this one's clearly children. Like
Yeah, the Five Nights at Freddy's being evil question is like,
exactly.
Well, I think a lot of these are amateur Ken M's, if you've ever heard of that on the internet.
Ken M's?
Yeah,
What's
so it's
Ken
this guy that
M's?
answers Yahoo Answer questions and stuff, but like...
Oh, right, the Progogonant thing?
Yeah,
The
he
videos? Yeah.
acts like an idiot, and like people believe him. Like, I don't know. It's
Oh,
hard to explain.
I thought you were... there's a video of that guy reading, like, all the misspellings of pregnant. Am I pregnant on WikiHow? It's like, am I Progogonant? My boyfriend came inside. Am I pregnant?
I've seen that. Yeah.
Can I look down at my hands and make a creepy laugh like some possessed people do?
No.
You're,
No, not at all. That's someone else's gig. Do something original, please.
Is your neck broken?
My parents already think it's weird that I hang around my doll a lot. Do you think it would be possible for me to trick them into thinking that I'm possessed?
No.
People have this possession backwards, dude.
I know, they don't understand how
How
this
to make
works.
it look like sometimes you're
Did-
trapped in the doll.
Did some kind of teenage horror movie come out recently that like fucked this whole
There's
thing
a new
up?
there's a new Annabelle movie.
Oh, but these are older questions, so it can't
Yeah.
be Annabelle
in
creation.
Annabelle, isn't it a demon in the doll anyway?
Yeah.
It's a girl who, yeah, it's like, what if she died or something, and then like they like please give us her back or whatever, and then she gets into the doll.
It's
I don't.
but it's still the reversal. I don't know how these people get this fucked up.
Yeah.
It's a simple concept. But the last one, I feel like the most important question of this WikiHow segment: will this help me get a boyfriend?
Yep.
Fuck yeah, it will.
Sorry, lady. I only date possessed
I only date people who walk down the stairs backwards.
I mean, that's what I do.
It's one of my favorite hobbies. So my problem for this week is acne.
Yeah.
Do you guys know what acne is?
No. I'm
Okay, for those who don't
Delicious
know,
skin.
it is 80% genetic, as though my WikiHow, not even
So you
WikiHow.
should probably explain what it is before.
Okay, so acne is, I will just pull up the Wikipedia that I pulled up when I was at the barbershop today. Acne, also known as acne vulgaris, which sounds like a Star Trek thing.
Actually, kind of sounds like a Harry Potter spell to me.
Does
That's
it?
what you
Acne
curse.
vulgaris.
It's what you cure someone with puberty. Like,
That
you just hit 13. Acne vulgaris. Like,
Back at it.
Thanks.
It's a
That was
long,
really bad.
I liked it though.
It's a long-term skin disease that occurs when hair follicles are clogged with dead skin cells and oil from the skin. It is characterized by blackheads or whiteheads, pimple,
Are you-
oily skin,
Do you
and
have a little
possible
southern
scarring.
draw going on in his voice?
I don't
right
know.
now?
It primarily affects areas of the skin with relatively high number of oil glands, incling the face, upper part
I
of
may
the
be
chest,
just
and
a
back.
simple country lawyer,
But
I'm telling you what.
I
acne.
do declare.
say,
So
I'll
yeah, acne. It happens to everyone, and I fucking hate it. It's disgusting. I get it all the time. It's 80% genetic, so I blame my parents for not only having poor eyesight, but also acne all over the place.
I used to have really bad acne in my neck.
Yeah.
Like it was like almost ingrown.
Ooh.
Like just a whole line of it.
Mhm.
It was awful. I don't know. I don't even know how I got rid of it. It just kind of disappeared one day.
Just over time. You didn't get
Yeah.
it like popped or anything like that?
I used to pop it, but it would just
Yeah.
end up bleeding. It was
Yeah,
pretty
I had
gross.
it kind of bad in high school. I remember ended up going on some drug. I can't remember what it was called, but I had to sign so many forms promising I wouldn't get pregnant.
Just so the government would know that you're not going to get pregnant.
Yeah,
for
because
this.
it's like the drug. It doesn't really. It had maybe some depression side effects, so I needed to, like, hey, if you start feeling really sad, stop taking it. But
Yeah,
also,
also don't get pregnant.
It could cause birth defects. So
Yeah.
I had to promise that I wouldn't get pregnant.
I thought it was the drug they use in junior.
I was like,
Yeah.
what?
Fuck.
It's coming out your butt for sure.
Yeah, so I have adult acne and it sucks, and I don't enjoy it. I feel like it really ruins your face. It ruins everyone's high school experience. Having acne around, like, it's just
But there's something really satisfying about popping a pimple.
there is, and I
love
do
it.
I do enjoy that, but that leads to scarring and other issues and whatnot.
Yeah, they can start looking like Seal or
I mean, he's like a famous guy, so I'm like,
It's
I'd be
true.
in. That's fine. I'd do
Or
blackface,
Edward James
which is
Olmos.
bad. That's probably a little more. Yeah, wasn't he on like Battlestar Galactica? Nailed it. Fucking, I knew.
And a bad season of Dexter. So
Oh yeah, he was, wasn't he?
they're
God
mostly
damn
bad
it.
seasons of Dexter.
just like season 1.
I like everything. I think I like season 1 through 4. I will be a firm
3 was
believer
bad.
that
I like the John Lithgow season.
Yeah.
That's the one.
John Lith. That's the
I
season
think
4.
1's very good.
Was 3 with
2's
Jimmy
okay.
Smits?
Yeah.
That's
with
why
Jimmy
with
Smits
Jimmy
and
Smits.
really bad because
That was so bad.
That okay. I will give you that one. That
it
one
had
was
a
bad.
breath of life again with John Lithgow as the Trinity Killer, and then
Yes.
it's just like
He was great. After that, it was bad,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen every episode, and I fucking can't handle it.
I stopped after what's her name from Save the Last Dance came in.
I knew it. Yeah, I can't remember her name either, but she was like, she kind of helped him serial kill.
Oh,
because
Flatface.
Yeah, that's her name.
Nailed it. All right, we're bad.
I forget
people.
what her name is.
We are bad people.
That's fine.
Julia Stiles.
There we go.
There it
Boom.
is.
See, I helped.
Flatface, Julia Stiles.
Nailed it. But I think the biggest problem is that because it's so genetic, it's like some people just have good genes, some people have bad genes. Nothing you can do about it. And there's some people who like really like feel awful about this all the time. Like I see people walking around just like literally red just all down their face, and it's like it makes me feel so bad for them. Like they can't do anything. They can do pills. Like I go to a dermatologist like once every couple of months. I pay a bunch of money to try to get it to go away, and it's still there.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
We're
Is it
gonna-
really bad on your back or something? Like
I have
don't
it bad
really
on my
see it on your face.
face.
I
This is
don't
yeah.
really ever notice.
I'm
Yeah.
trying new prescriptions. I
Yeah,
think
you're
it's working out
literally
pretty
drawing
well.
attention to it. We don't,
I know. Well,
don't
now,
know.
I went on new prescriptions. There's a bunch of stuff that's like how you had on your neck. That's all like under the skin. I have a bunch of stuff that's like just waiting to hop out. Also
get
on
it
my
in my
legs
chin.
and stuff.
I
My
get
back
the
thereof.
occasional pimple on my lip, and it one hurts like crazy, and 2 looks like a cold sore. So it
Yeah.
drives me crazy. Yeah.
I hate that. But it's just like it's
I get them on my legs and my inner thighs. a lot.
just because like the sweat and stuff like that. So like I did that show on Thursday. So like whenever I do a show, I'm normally sweaty after I do shit like that. So like no matter what I do, no matter what prescription and what regimen I do, it's all bad for a couple days. So it's just starting to go down. But like I feel like it really kind of affected my high school a little bit.
Oh, yeah, it
just
sucked.
being like I look down a lot because I'm like I don't want people to look at my dumb face. So
Yeah.
thanks mom and dad for these awesome genetics. I have to not only pay for eyeglasses every year,
I
but
feel
I
like
also pay for acne.
the generic, high school, like I'm a nerdy, pimply kid, kind of that goes out the window.
Yeah.
That's like doesn't really happen as much.
Yeah.
But the insecurity is still there.
Exactly.
And that feeling of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because my acne was bad, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
Like my whole family, we got the Proactive crap, and it wasn't doing anything because it just dry out your skin. And mine just went away with time in general. But yeah, like I don't know, like my sister got it real bad. She has scars like across down her face and stuff. Like, yeah, I don't know.
It's like nothing she did wrong. It's just how it's like that's just genetics, and it kind of sucks that like this is why we need to go back to Gattaca because then we can just like manipulate.
Gattaca.
Do you remember the name of the thing I was talking about during that episode?
No.
Okay.
What was it called?
CRISPR.
CRISPR, the CRISPR.
The vegetable
yes.
CRISPR.
We need to get CRISPR on the map so we can get acne out of things. Because I feel like the dermatology
you do a lot
business,
of stuff that affects like self-confidence. You could also like cure baldness that way.
That
It's
is true.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. But I mean, acne's up there too.
Yeah.
Cosmetically wise, I feel like people would feel better if they didn't have acne and didn't. It also like hurt. Like, did your acne ever hurt?
Oh yeah, that was to me that was the thing that was the worst part. It's just like your face is constantly like irritated.
Yeah, especially if it's like an ingrown one or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one on my ear that was just like where you'd probably pierce an ear, and it was just there for I would say 6 months.
I got one there too. Like you could almost. I guess it's been a while, but I remember like feeling it on the inside. It like wasn't even showing out anymore, but still hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to go to the dermatologist and get a shot like every 2 months into it to try to kill it. And it kept coming back. It kept getting bigger and coming back, and then just one day it was like, yeah, we're done fucking with
Like
this
a
kid
tumor?
for a little bit. Yeah, it was like a tumor.
Yeah.
It was bad. And I feel like I have a lot of skin stuff. I had to like remove moles out of my head and stuff like that when I was a kid because like could be cancer. So it's like I didn't have great skin, and I feel like acne is a huge problem. So yeah, apparently you guys are good. I'm working on it.
I don't know. I
don't
get
know.
some back.
It was a throwaway problem. I must admit it was my
It
last.
sucks.
It's not a fun thing.
It hurts. It does mess with your self-confidence and your body image. It's
Yeah.
like, it can be hard to do things when you're afraid. Like, is everyone staring at my like face?
Yeah, but then you learn that no one did, and everyone's worried about their own issues.
Yeah. Well, I think we like, if we're being honest, though, you are a nerd,
Yeah.
and
I mean, just turn
it's-
around and look at
that's
that
gross.
bookshelf.
Yeah, it's gross as fuck. So
I
I
know.
mean, I don't even want to be here.
That's fine. It's okay. I see you have a Simpsons tattoo. I mean,
I don't know what you're talking about.
you guys
Is that
can't see
Blinky?
it.
I can't tell from over
Yeah,
here.
it's Blinky.
Yeah.
I got a hole. I'm working on an arm.
Hell yeah, that's fucking badass.
So when do you think The Simpsons stopped being good?
Ooh.
Never. We actually just did a podcast episode on late season episodes.
What's a late season technically? Like
Well-
how do you break them down?
On the episode, I left it up to Michelle, our guest,
Mm-hmm.
to decide that. Most people jump off around 9 or 10.
Okay.
When does Maud Flanders die?
I think that's 10 or 11.
Okay. Is that Flanders' wife?
Yeah.
Okay. I really don't know too much about Simpsons. I
Homer
must admit.
basically caused her death, essentially.
Holy
Like,
shit!
He's
really?
like, they're like a racetrack or something like that, and Homer's they're shooting T-shirts out of T-shirt cannons, and he's like, "Hey, throw it over here," and then as soon as they shoot one at him, he ducks down and it hits her, and she falls off the top of the stands and dies.
What?
Yeah, it was pretty dark. I think for me that's kind of the last I remember being really into The Simpsons.
Okay.
I haven't really given the later seasons much of a chance.
There's some good ones. In general, it's pretty bad. Like,
yeah.
But I usually count later season like season 15.
Okay.
That's just a personal.
I heard it's gotten funnier again, and I watched a few, but they seem more like Family Guy-esque, where like they were more like satire early on. I feel like they were a lot smarter, but maybe that's just
Yeah, they're not
rose-colored
very. It's not like
glasses.
They're
Yeah.
changing
there's
the
a
tone.
fracking episode that's pretty good.
Mhm.
The Boyhood like parody, I guess. Is
Yeah, you know what? I actually
great.
saw that one.
That's called Barthood. It's
enjoyed
we actually
it.
talk about that on my podcast, but like I think that honestly might be in my top 10.
Okay.
So
I'll check that one out. That
that's
sounds
good.
awesome.
It's
that one was
season
actually really good.
27.
Is that the one of the newest seasons? This 27?
No, it's on. It's going into 29 now.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's
That's
as old,
so
almost,
many.
almost as old,
Premiered-
or older than me.
It premiered in 1987, I think, on the Tracy Ullman
Mhm.
show.
89
Okay.
was the first. The
Sure.
late 89 was the first season.
Jeez.
So I'm as old as The Simpsons, or
Mhm.
it is as old as me. It's creepy.
Either way, whatever makes you feel better. Speaking of feeling better, look at that segue. Call it out. We're gonna do a happy ending.
Ooh, I like
George, would
those.
you Be so kind. What happens is our good friend James, not that James, we have another friend James, who wrote down a bunch of bad things in there that we don't know anything about, and we have to find a silver lining to this happy ending, per se. Would you mind reading that out loud for us?
Stepping in dog poo.
Stepping in dog poop. Okay, so silver lining is that, I don't know, you clean your shoes? And, like, when's the last time you clean your shoes,
you do.
like,
you
for
get your
real?
shoe real clean after it.
Yeah.
Maybe you're moving some microorganisms around somewhere they need to go.
I mean, in a way, it's kind of like the bees that move around stuff. It's like it's like the soil stuff. Oh, fuck. I'm losing my train of thought.
Fertilizer?
Boom, there we go. That's a word that I don't remember how to use. There's not a lot of good to this.
Well, I think like if it could be like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids moment. You never know. They could be trapped in dog poo.
That is true.
Or,
you could be helping out.
And your foot would be the savior moment, the Deus Ex
You
moment.
could murder them.
You
Just
could.
Well, you
but
gotta
it's
break
like
a couple eggs.
No.
it's like the bee in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where it's like you think it's gonna be terrible, and then it's like, no, it's their way out.
Yeah, it's their friend. Also, because there's dog poop, more than likely that means there's a dog nearby, and that means you could potentially
Maybe you get to pet a dog.
pet a dog, which is pretty fucking rad.
Yeah.
I don't got much more than that, to be quite honest. That one's a little rough. George, let's talk about what you do. You do the Second Shot podcast.
Yep.
It's a weekly podcast on iTunes and what have you.
All that good stuff. Yeah.
What is your next episode? Because you can do The Simpsons. That one came out.
Yeah, that's coming out. That's out now. The one we're recording this week is my friend Lauren. She's gonna talk about the show Outlander.
Outlander.
I've never really heard of it. She's like it's a Game of Thrones if it were a romance novel.
Okay.
So I'm not looking forward to this.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it should be fun. She showed me a trailer. I'm like, "Ugh."
Here we go. What channel was it on?
Probably Sci-Fi or something like that.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah. It's like this girl who touches like Stonehenge and somehow goes back in time. Like,
Nope. Hate
like-
it already.
So
no.
it'll be interesting.
Do you still do the movie thing?
The indoor drive-in? Yeah.
Yeah.
I do that monthly at May Halls.
Okay.
September 9th.
Okay.
I'm showing The Jerk
The Jerk. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
because Steve Martin's coming in 2 weeks.
Hell yeah. I'm assuming you're gonna go see him at. Is that Nautica?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Steve Martin and Martin Short.
Hell yeah.
I do old trailers, commercials, drive-in stuff, cartoons sometimes.
Awesome.
So it's fun. It's free. If you want to come, it's 9:00.
There you
Upstairs
go.
in May Halls.
Hell yeah. James, you got any? What are you into this week? What are you digging?
I don't know.
Nothing. Not digging anything in your life.
Anything.
That's fine.
Yep.
How's PUBG going for you? Play anymore?
No, I only play with you guys.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So it's going okay then.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I have a show I'm going to be opening for Froggy Fresh on September 6th at the Beachland Ballroom. Please get your tickets. They're selling very quickly. You can get them online. I don't know exactly where, but you can find them online. You can follow me at Mayor Wertz on pretty much everything. Follow Plucking Petals. Subscribe and like, leave a review. It does help us with charting and all that jazz. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. As always, this has been Plucking Petals with James and Kyle. And as always, I'm Kyle.
And I'm not this James.
Have a good day.
Hey.